All right, so now, ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to bring your attention to the next session on the corporate presentation on a very exciting subject and topic, a revolutionary contactless health and wellness monitoring solution for the insurance industry. A very exciting topic, something totally unique which we have not heard on day one and neither so far. So looking forward to a very exciting session. So please help me welcome the presenter of this unique session with a big round of applause from all of you. Please help me welcome Mr. Sanjay Bhardwaj, Country Director from NuraLogix Corporation, with a big round of applause. Can we have Sanjay on the stage, please? Mr. Sanjay Bhardwaj, Country Director from NuraLogix Corporation, who will be presenting on the revolutionary contactless health and wellness monitoring solution for insurance industry. Sanjay, welcome to the stage.
Good morning, my friends. And it's always a pleasure to talk in front of a team gathering from insurance industry. So my name is Sanjay Bhardwaj. I come from NuraLogix Corporation. In the last about a day and a half, I've had a very interesting meeting with quite a few of you gentlemen around here, and shared about our services, shared about what exactly technology we have, shared how we can actually build up an engagement and a kind of a sustainable partnership with the insurance industry. So for the benefit of those whom I couldn't meet or who probably had other tasks also lined up, we thought we'll just flip through our presentation, which will take you through our journey, which will take you through a product that we have developed as a technology company. So as a technology company, we use effective AI to improve the lives of people everywhere. So I'll just go through the journey that we had. We were established in 2015 in Toronto, established by a team of data scientists, doctors, and engineers from across the world. In 2017, we rolled out a first beta version of our app called Anura app, which had 8 parameters captured. It was a beta version. In 2019, we had the first publication by American Heart Association, and my doctor friends who are sitting here would definitely endorse that AHA is one of the most prestigious journals globally. 2020, we started a commercial operation globally. Unfortunately, that's the same time the world got stuck with COVID, and we have to scale down our operation. In the current scenario, we are, in the last about 3 years of our active global engagement, we have done millions of scans all over the world using our model. We have presence in 34 countries across the world with 150 clients. And the clients vary from insurance industry to wellness player to automobile industry to transport and also the consumers. We have got 17 patents, probably the only company in the world which has got 17 patents. And for the benefit of those people who use another similar product from Middle East countries, they don't even have 3 patents with them. And we are in the process of getting approval for 4 more patents. And these all patents are from US and Canada. All right? We deploy AWS Cloud Platform for DeepFX effective AI engine. So the backbone of this technology, we call it as a TOI, transdermal optical imaging. And a very simple technology, we perform a selfie of 30 seconds using our application. The application has built in the capability to release the light and study the blood flow from the face. All right, and in about 30 seconds, the facial blood flow data is collected. The raw data is captured by our Anura app. The data is pushed to our cloud server. The data gets analyzed at a DeepFX AI engine, which applies advanced signal processing techniques and an AI model, and we get the report of 30 clinical parameters, all in about 30 seconds. So that's something very, very unique that we have introduced in the world, and we are constantly innovating on this. We are adding on to more parameters. Just to tell you, in the last about 3 months, we have added on to fatty liver. Unfortunately, the episode of fatty liver remained undiagnosed for a very, very long time, and we are the one who have added on to these capabilities also. Nevertheless, we are adding on to more capabilities, which we'll share with you in the next about 2 quarters. So that's what we do. That's what we all measure. We measure the complete vitals, including blood pressure, heart rate. Important thing is irregular heartbeat. We measure the mental and psychological analysis of the patient or the subject, which include mental stress index on a scale of 1 to 5. Probably we are the only one in the world to do that. we do the complete cardiovascular disease scan. This includes cardiovascular risk, heart risk, and stroke risk. We do the blood biomarkers, including HbA1c, blood sugar level. We do the physiological tests like heart rate variability, which is extremely, extremely important for people above 50 years of age or who got hypertension or cardiac disorders. We do the physical examination. And very, very critically, we do the metabolic disease estimation or scan, which includes high lipid levels, which includes HbA1c, type 2 diabetic risk. And on a scale of 1 to 100, we give the complete analysis of a patient or that person. So remember, 30 seconds of selfie, 12 seconds of this measurement, and you have all the patient report in your hand as a soft copy. And you as the leaders in insurance, your doctors, or you can look onto the dashboard, the data streaming for hundreds of patients who are using this, and then you can build up your analytics thereon. So today, Anura largely has a capability to be the game changer in this industry. So we can get away with all that, that so-called clumsy devices for the routine management of our, chronic diseases or for that matter patient management. And it can also, to a large scale, also eliminate the need for the visit of a paramedic or a phlebotomist to the home to do a kind of a routine analysis. And this is a kind of a sample report which is generated once the analysis is done in 30 seconds. Completely automated, completely digital, no human intervention. So what do? We basically manage the individual and population health. At population health, we are working with multiple pharmaceutical companies in Africa, South, and Latin American countries to do the population health studies. And for insurance companies, where we are facing more challenges onto 3 chronic diseases, including diabetes, mental health, cardiovascular disorder, and hypertension, we offer a complete solution here. I need not tell this team gathering here about the episodes of diabetic. Unfortunately, India is called as the diabetic capital of the world. And whether we accept it or we don't accept it, I'm in the industry, we have seen the episodes of mental health disorder going up astronomically in the last about 3 years, post-COVID era. All right? And largely in 80% of the cases, they remain undiagnosed. At least at a technology level, we are able to predict that mental stress index of that individual, that person, using just one click. Hypertension needs no introduction. Hypertension, along with, as it comes as a comorbidity with diabetes and other cardiovascular disorder, and pose a major, major challenge when we look into the long-term survival of the cases. So in a way, we have revolutionized the complete insurance industries. We'll list out a few of our players, with whom we work globally. Now you can do the full healthcare assessment and develop a risk score in just 30-second scan. It's all a real-time data platform, and it supports accurate health estimation at the point of care itself. All right? Absolute data-driven, and data is owned by you. We don't keep any data. Because it's a HIPAA compliant, it's a GDPR compliant solution, we have access to no data once a patient scan is completed. All right? So, an ideal tool for customer engagement, for pre-boarding the client, for engaging with the existing client. For existing client who got a comorbidity or a history, you can actually track the analysis, you can do the trend analysis of those cases, and suggest the intervention accordingly. You have an ongoing data on the health and well-being of all the people who are on your platform. And I must say this data is as accurate as any other diagnostic tool. Dynamic underwriting, to be honest, we haven't signed a large deal onto dynamic underwriting because it's a tricky affair, but we found the significant traction from insurance players word over on this subject also. But at the day's end, it reduces cost. There is no need to send the paramedic or a nurse to the patient home, and it enables a real-time policy upload. Corporate healthcare, this is a new subject which has come up. I come from Bangalore, and we have seen that large corporate definitely are very, very concerned about the health and well-being of their young employees, particularly for IT industries, BPOs, and so on, or the new age knowledge industries, to make sure that the absenteeism from the hospital, from the offices are less, and their health and well-being is taken care of. We offer a cross-platform compatibility. This can be used on the mobile phone and any mobile phone. smartphone to be precise, any platform, whether iOS, Android. We propose a browser integration, laptop integration, work across all the operating systems seamlessly. So we have found that this is going to be a revolutionary game changer in the industry. We have also found that because of the very uniqueness of this thing, this can offer significant value in terms of ensuring that the patient stickiness remains with you. And at the day's end, you have piles of data coming from the patient and from the users to make sure that we can provide a better life, maintain or cut down to the policy premiums, and so on. So these are some of our global clients. Bupa across US and Latin American market, their sister company Sanitas in Europe, Entity Data, FWD, AIA, and we have very recently signed HSBC Life in Hong Kong also. So we have 6 global clients, and we are in talk with a few more also in Europe and Asia and in India too. Any questions from you gentlemen and ladies here?
Hello, my name is Karthikeyan. I just wanted to understand how accurate are these readings when you talk about a scanner. The parameters which you had mentioned is huge, including HbA1c. Now, when you go for an HbA1c test without a prick, without the blood being extracted, I don't think, is it possible to give a proper accurate reading? I understand if it's the blood pressure and all those things, that is fine. But then when you talk about HbA1c, traditionally we have been used to doing the test by withdrawing blood. How accurate do you think your scanner is?
Can you rephrase? You are talking about the accuracy of the data?
Yeah, accuracy of the readings which we get.
Okay.
You are telling that by a facial scan,
okay,
the parameters which you are told, one of them is HbA1c. So the readings usually HbA1c or even your blood test, whatever you are going to do for diabetes to know the sugar reading, there is always a process of withdrawing blood. Then only the readings are taken from this thing. How accurate is your scanner? How can it be relied on?
All right, got it. For all the physiological parameters, that includes your blood pressure, heart rate, your irregular heartbeat, cardiac scanning, and so on, the accuracy ranges from 95% plus minus 3%. So I can say the range is between 92 to 98% accurate for physiological parameter and cardiac activities. For metabolic parameters, this includes your lipids, your HbA1c, your fatty liver, and your blood glucose, and so lipidemias. The accuracy is about 85% plus minus 3%. So I can say 82 to 88% accurate. And we have data, we have publication, we have peer review paper which we can present to you, and you can compare it at your end.
No, about this HbA1c? No, you did not mention about this HbA1c which I was talking about. Blood sugar level.
Blood sugar.
HbA1c, that also was there.
Yeah. So as I said, the blood sugar accuracy could be 85% plus minus.
85% accuracy will be there?
5% plus minus.
As compared to the traditional method?
Come again?
As compared to the traditional method, you are telling 85% accuracy will be there.
It's basically the laboratory test versus our application.
Yeah.
Laboratory test versus our application.
Okay.
But I'll also add one more point. for my doctor friends would also agree that for point of care devices, even the medical documentation says that plus minus 15%, is acceptable. Like say blood glucometer, HbA1c or hemoglobin, plus minus 15% is an acceptable limit for point of care devices. So we have a booth out. So those of you who want to have a look onto their vital signs, most welcome to come there. And we'll be happy to do your scan. We'll be happy to share the report instantly with you. You can see for yourself. As if you have done.
Hi, Sanjay. Just one question here.
Please.
I agree there are certain things which cannot be done without a prick. I'm Dr. Mukta, by the way. So without a prick of, a blood. But how legally compliant these reports? Like if we, even in case, if I take it as a gross reporting based on certain criteria, but how legally compliant? Suppose in case, as you have already mentioned, like if I want to use it in underwriting part at the time of getting policy, so will it stand for that? If a customer is questioning me, on what basis, ma'am, you are saying I am having this? So will it stand in that particular scenario? Like I can, on what basis I can say confidently, yes, it is correct? Is there any certification specific which mean support to this, use this application?
Can you rephrase the question, ma'am? I didn't get that.
How compliant your readings are? Like, for example, if I opt this particular app at the time of proposal writing, in underwriting, okay, I say, I'll give an example. I am getting this app and I am giving this report to my customer who wants to take a policy from us, right? So we will apply this tool, and based on this reporting, I will say no. I will not say him, but definitely I may deny or just do reconsideration for accepting that proposal. Okay, so how compliant your app is, whether I should use it as a compliant tool where there is no question of having any doubts in the final readings you have given to us. How confidently I can say to a customer, no, whatever we have given is like, as you mentioned, 90% is accurate. So should I be that confident? So what is the certification you have to use this app as our underwriting tool?
So I can share some further details with you, all right, in terms of the compliance and all. So we have done, as I said, multiple studies, sharing the compliance of the solution. And adding on to one more point onto here, we submitted to US FDA 510K clearance in October 2022, about 18 months ago, all right. And they asked for some further testing on few more patients, a few thousands of more patients, which we submitted again in last September, October. So we expect to get the US FDA also. So probably that will erase any doubt in terms of the compliance or in terms of the other issues that you may be talking about.
Yes. Right? So that's still under that testing part, so that we still have to wait to use this app, correct?
To tell you honestly, when you look at it as a purely health app, then yes, you're right. I need to wait for some time. But if you look at it as a screening app or a wellness app, then we are good to go. And I'm honest to admit that today I have a variance of nearly about 95% plus minus 3% onto my physiological parameters, and we have document to support that. It has been proved by AHA also. And for biomarkers and metabolic activities, we have a 85% plus minus. Okay. Right? So we work in that zone, and we admit where our capabilities lie. We also admit, if there is a shortcoming up there, which I'm sharing with you. But having said so, I think this is the best in the current scenario that we have offered, we have built in. Having said so, maybe in the days to come, in the months to come, we may probably make it as more accurate as we can.
Yeah, thank you.
We haven't had any such adverse feedback coming that, this is my lab report and this is your report, they don't match. We haven't seen anything.
Just actually see, you mentioned this app is based on AI, correct? So what exactly it looks at? I mean, it's a very critical information actually you are giving of a patient. So being a person in health insurance, I cannot just say based on AI we are doing it. So any specific way of working, what exactly this AI takes from the face, because you are just getting the facial impression of a person. So just can you enumerate one or two specific things based on which it is giving us this outcome? Just a gross question, if you have answer, that's fine.
So I think I'll talk to you after this,
No
we'll talk
no
separately.
problem. No
offline.
issues, no
Yeah,
issues.
offline,
Thank you,
yeah.
thank you.
Hi, I think, Sanjay, the point is not about the accuracy of the test, with 85, 87, 83 is still all right, because I think we had a question on H1C, right? And even that is not 100% sensitive or specific. If you look at H1C versus our fasting blood sugar, the sensitivity will be still lower. In fact, it improves only when you peg it against a 2-hour postprandial. So the point is, if you have published this, say in medical literature or in journals, right? And I think your question was, today if I decline this case, basis the findings of your test, or I charge an extra loading premium because I believe he's a diabetic, right? We are using it as a diagnostic tool here. Now, if I do that, all right, and this guy contests, saying that I'm not a diabetic and the tool that you have used to call me a diabetic is not a gold standard. So let's take an example. If an F-fasting blood sugar is a gold standard, for example, then this is not the gold standard test. If I'm pulled, to a court of law saying that you have wrongly denied me, an underwriting a policy, right, based on your underwriting, do you have some literature, some peer-reviewed, medically published journal literature that I can say, hey, this is a recognized test, and you are still, so it's not really about 85, 87, because all tests that we do, right, like if I do a treadmill test today, and if I decline somebody, the sensitivity will be about 60, 65% even for a triple vessel disease, right? I'm not doing a coronary angio, which would be the gold standard. But I still use that saying, hey, I did a treadmill test, and basis that I'm not giving you a cover. Do we have the same comfort? I think that was your question, and just trying to re-clarify from, wearing an underwriting hat.
So if I recall your question well, basically this is about, coming down onto the accuracy or probably the correctness of the data point, particularly for particular disorder, as you say, diabetes and so on. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, it could be for anything. It could be for liver functions or whatever. But can I use it conclusively to take a decision from an underwriting perspective, from a risk perspective?
From a decision from?
So basically, the question was, when I underwrite a policy, now it could be a health or a life insurance policy, if I use this information and take a decision basis that, which is adverse, right? It's not a standard decision, which is adverse. And if my decision is contested, do we have enough literature to back up my decision? That is the question.
So I think one point I mentioned that, we are still trying to figure out an insurance industry trying to figure out, what could be a kind of engagement with underwriting the policy, all right? So, because, different companies have different set of guidelines or different algorithm or calculations and done so are. So, as of today, all the clients, which are 6 clients I have mentioned to you, they're using it basically for onboarding. Just 2 people have started experimenting, or I would say as a pilot basis for underwriting purpose, all right? But maybe if they're willing to share those probably details, which I'm not sure, we'll happy to share with you, how exactly this can help us out.
Sure, thanks, no worry. We can discuss it maybe offline. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Mr. Sanjay Bhardwaj from NuraLogix Corporation for that wonderful presentation on the revolutionary contactless health and wellness monitoring solution for the insurance industry. Now I would like to call on stage Mr. Bhashwar Roy Chaudhary, Senior Vice President Claims from HDFC Life Insurance. Bhashwarji, if you could kindly do the honors. Please, sir. A big round of applause again, ladies and gentlemen. Sanjay Bhardwaj for that wonderful presentation on revolutionary contactless health and wellness monitoring for the insurance industry from NuraLogix Corporation.